Hey bros, so I just finished the campaign for the new league and I thought I'd share with you my leveling build. I think it's gonna be one of the better leveling builds for both Sorceress and Witch. If not actually the best one. It's got really good damage from early on and it's gonna scale just fine. And it's also really super easy to gear. But also, I think I would recommend that for new players, especially because it's super easy to play in general. So I'm gonna share with you everything you need to know about it, the gear and the skill gem, supports, everything. And also I wanna include a little bit of a campaign guide with all of the buffs and the unlocks you need to do, not just for the old stuff, but for the new stuff, the Act 4 and the interludes. A little bit of a checklist, if you will. So if you could, please, before that, leave a like on the video. It really would help with putting out the video out there for, YouTube pushing it. And it would really help with the channel growing. So let's now get to it. Alright, so I made the Mobalytics guide and of course I'm going to be including it in the description. Let's go over the actual abilities we're going to be using. It's very simple. Contagion, Essence Drain. You probably know very well what it does. You want to do Contagion first, and then Essence Drain to make sure you don't kill the mob with the Essence Drain, and then it spreads both of the debuffs. That's how you deal damage. Early on, the Contagion is going to deal very nice damage, but later it's just really all about the Essence Drain. Contagion also kills smaller mobs like, say, mosquitoes even later. But anyway, Withering Presence. Around us, we're going to be making it so enemies take more chaos damage. It's going to be about our presence, if you know what that means. You probably do. Despair is going to be our curse, lowering chaos resistance even more. And then finally, the last thing we're going to be getting really, is going to be Dark Effigy, a totem that's just going to shoot chaos bolts at stuff that is dotted. So our rotation is going to be putting down Contagion on something, then Essence Drain, and that's going to be both for clearing and bosses. And then for rares and bosses, we're going to also Despair them after we dot them up. We want to get those sticking as soon as possible. And then the Dark Effigy to help out with the damage instead of just spamming the Essence Drain. Once you put down the Dark Effigy, then you start spamming the Essence Drain. And for the very start of the game, as a Sorceress, we all start with Spark, right? And I also cut a Frost Bomb, but I've first cut Contagion and then Frost Bomb, and that's the 3 abilities I was using until I got Essence Drain. Once we get that, Spark's gone, Frost Bomb's gone, and we just use all of these 5 that are right here. But with Witch, you probably want to use the Unearth you get at the start, along with wand attacks, and I guess the minions you have with your scepter. As for the support gems, a couple of things to mention. Unleash, I feel, is really good to have as actually the first support, because instead of just putting Contagion on one mob, it does it on 3, and that really helps because it can be awkward to aim the Essence Drain to the mob that has been hit with Contagion. That's what you have to do, right? And I actually didn't think of the Pierce on the Essence Drain until later in the campaign, because this is the first time I was leveling with this build. But honestly, I would probably use that before anything else to help with the same thing. Because sometimes the Contagion is gonna end up being behind the first mob you're in front of, and then the Essence Drain is gonna hit that frontliner instead of the contagiated mob. It's awkward, so the Pierce really helps. I would cut it first, actually. For the gear, it's honestly very, very simple, which is great for beginners, right? This is the gear I ended the campaign with, not necessarily what you want to go for. What you want to go for is right here. So, damage, very simple. Level of chaos spells or skills, or all spells is what you want to go for. Staff, or wand and focus, those are going to have the plus level to all chaos spell skills or all spell skills. And then I also was taking the increased spell damage or increased chaos damage. Mostly those are gonna be on the weapons too. I don't remember. Do you get percent chaos damage on rings? I think you do, just like the elemental, lightning, fire. And then defense, also super simple. I do very much prefer going for life and strength over anything else. I think it's much better because it's much simpler and so easy to get, and you don't need to interact with it in any other way. And then the resists after that I think are really good. I don't really like energy shield too much for the campaign. I think even armor is better. And of course we don't go for any evasion. I don't think that makes sense. I think the energy shield requires more investment to make sense because you need to recharge as opposed to just pressing life flask for regenning that way. I think armor is better. You just mitigate and you're gonna be taking mostly physical damage on the campaign, I think, right? And then I do have a little bit of a note here that gain extra as percentage, say for example on the runes that, like Desert Rune, that's not gonna work for our build because that doesn't work for damage over time. So what we go for instead is another rune, which is, I think a lesser is 20% increased spell damage. So we go for that one. And also the charm I use is Thawing, and that includes also the endgame forever. I think being unable to be frozen, I think you need that, honestly. So I mentioned here that I'll be updating this because it's just been one day I've been playing. So I'll include uniques once I look at things, you know. Passive skill tree. It's really simple. I just typed on the search bar chaos. I took all of the nodes. And then after that, once I took all of the nodes, I then searched for spell damage. And I took all of the nodes. That's my strategy for the passive skill tree. And hey, it worked completely just fine. So now let's go for the campaign buffs and unlocks, yeah? So I made this little thing for you. Actually, I was thinking about making it for friends because a few friends are playing the game as well now, and they're kind of new to the game. So I just included everything that you have to get, like actually have to get, or you'll be a scuffed character. So you can see this is a checklist to go for, organized by acts and everything, of course. And I also included a bit of an optionals section, but only the good ones. So, for example, there's a level 1 skill gem in the mysterious campsite in Clearfell. Maybe you don't know about that. You get a level 2 skill gem and level 1 support gem if you kill the Devourer. That can help a lot. And you know, having an extra support gem, especially early, is really good. It can just be 50% more damage for you or something. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the guide, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'm going to be playing a Sorceress, of course, and I'm going to be grinding the endgame. I'm going to be playing, I think, Arc. I'm not sure yet, I have to really try things out. I haven't planned for it or anything. I'm just going to wing it, but I like how it looks. It looks cool, and I think it's going to be good too. So, that's about it. See you next time.